Hi, I'm Steve Ritchie from Ritchie Sales, and I'm with Phyllis Harbinger. Thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, and I've saw your career over the years, and it's really a great career. You've had a lot of exciting things that you've done, both residentially and commercially. Teaching.
I'm teaching, yeah.
Uh,
We're more into the residential and the education and the coaching at this point. I've been doing a lot of coaching as well as a result of my work with the book and clients, and it's just been really fun. And I've loved having such a nice long relationship with the Ricci Group. It's been great.
Oh, likewise.
Yeah.
The start of your career, what drove you into design?
So it's actually my second career.
Wow.
And I was in political science and marketing first, and I hated life. And I needed to go back for something, and I wanted something that would make my heart sing. So I did an apartment, and we sold for double what we paid for it, and a little light bulb went off. Wow. And so I researched programs and went to FIT and never looked back. It's been life-changing. Wow. And now it's 33 years that I've been practicing.
And you've taught at FIT.
Yes. So I've taught at my alma mater for 30 years, almost 30 years, and I've loved it. I'm now a retired adjunct, and I can go back online and teach, nice. Which is really great. But I also teach at New York School of Interior Design online and Palm Beach State College in Florida, because they're all CETA accredited schools, which is really important to me that they are for the Council of Interior Design accreditation. So they're really good quality programs.
Well, you certainly have a great career in design. I remember you were previous chapter president for the
New York Metro.
Yeah.
That's when we met. So
right.
That was about 12 years ago.
Right, in Arrow Studios.
Yes.
Yes, that was impressive. It's a great group. We're big fans of the New York Metro chapter.
Me too. It'll always be my home, even though now I have South Florida.
Yeah. If you think about your approaches to design, and you think about where you started and where you are today, what has remained most consistent in your design approach and strategy to coming up with design elements and themes?
So I think that in the old days, we used to look at magazines and, of course, go to show houses. But today we have so many platforms available to us to find inspiration. But I can find inspiration anywhere. It could be in travel, and it's always been that way. So I think it comes from a myriad of places. People are very big with Pinterest now, Instagram. I personally like seeing the physicality of a design and getting that more three-dimensional approach to design. But the shelter magazines have always been a great inspiration, especially when I was young and just starting out and looking at the masters and what they were doing. Absolutely. And, as your career progresses, you create your own brand and you create your own sense of style that is attracting your clients. And I think the one thing that's always been constant for me is the communication, and how important it is to me to have that very, very open line of communication with my clients. And I think that's why they're still returning for multiple projects over 30 years. So
I presume generations at this point.
Yes, there are. And it's really lovely to see that. It really is.
It's got to be rewarding.
Yeah.
Well, that's testament to your success with your initial and the relationship trust that's built with them.
Yeah, I think trust is so important. We're my whole team, but as the principal, I'm like the mama bear, and I will do everything to protect my clients. So
very nice.
Yeah, it's a very hard job lately in this environment, but
what's become more difficult
today?
I think
that while the internet and computers and phones have really changed our lives for some parts for the good, in other respects, I think that it's added layers of minutia to what we do. And I also think that we've become more litigious over the years as a society. And that's also added different layers that we didn't contend with when I first started out. And I think also because we have all of this communication that's digital, we're not spending enough time with the people, with our vendors, with our makers, with our clients. And I think that those touch points are so critical to a really beautiful end result. And even though everything was by hand in the old days, writing purchase orders, etc., today it's even more minutia.
Yeah, yeah. And we're in High Point, North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
with Phyllis, and she's exploring uh, all of the showrooms here to physically see finishes and products.
So different.
Yeah,
And you just hit a word that we've been buzzing about with my colleagues for the entire visit to High Point so far, and it's finishes.
yeah,
Finishes can really make or break a product. And if you're not looking at a higher level brand with great finishes like Fine Arts, like Hubbard and
yeah.
Forge, I think that you're missing the boat because there really is value in the quality of a finish. And it's the first thing that your eye reflects.
Mm,
So it sends messages to you, to your clients. And if you're not just going to show something to a client, you want to have your best foot forward with the best product line that you can have. So
I
it's
love the
important.
I love the make or break comment.
Yeah,
The bad finishes can certainly
they do.
change a feel of a
We've been
product.
walking out of showrooms.
Good call. The So I had some other questions. I guess that we're talking about um, the feeling that you get in a space. I noticed that you're a feng shui practitioner.
Yeah,
How does that affect your?
it's very interesting. I use it subliminally because I was trained in feng shui, but I'm also a trained interior designer. So there are some parts of the two philosophies that conflict. So I've had to find my way to a mutual blend of these philosophies. And a lot of times I don't necessarily share it unless the client is hiring me because of that. And so many are not.
Mm-hmm.
So if I see something that I need to address, that I know I need to move the energy, the chi, in a certain way by shifting a plan, putting a bed in a certain position in an office, making sure that somebody is facing out, not with their back to a door. Like all of those are somewhat common sense, you would think, but most
Mm-hmm.
people don't know that.
Mm,
And so I
interesting.
think it's really important to shift that narrative so that you are making sure that there's harmony in the space. And there are a lot of little magical things that we do with feng shui for our clients, and we don't always have to divulge about them, but they make the space better. It's like a secret sauce.
So many little bits and pieces of design go together that it's the magical mix of putting it together in a special way
Yeah.
that a designer like you really makes a differentiation in a successful career. So I can appreciate that. You wrote this book, The Interior Design Productivity
Yeah.
Toolbox. What drove you to write that?
So I've had always a staff that I've brought up. I've never hired someone that worked for somebody else before. So
Oh,
they've all been either my students or in the first part, there was a woman that I knew that was older that came in. And I found that nurturing the talent through the education process into the professional world was great, but you're teaching these young designers and you constantly have to go back and instruct and teach everything. So I created checklists that I would
that's
give
great.
to my team, and they would have to check everything off and sign off on it so that they owned that they did everything right. And then I started
Nice
thinking
idea.
about it and I said, this is really a wonderful onboarding process
Mm,
because they can have a junior designer with them shepherding, but they're
yeah,
still responsible and they have finite information about what actually has to get done.
I love that.
So Wiley approached me and we looked at the book and we thought it would be an educational book, but they decided to make it a global audience book. So it's been
Oh,
out since 2014, I believe.
mhm.
And it also launched a speaking and coaching career for me because there were so
Nice.
many designers struggling with how they could have processes for their business, like
Oh,
written processes.
I love
And the
that.
checklists can be white labeled with their logos.
I
So
think
it becomes theirs.
that's great. That's great mentorship for someone who's had the experience and success, especially bringing young people in who need
Yeah.
that training. And that's really a great idea. Let me steal some ideas from that.
It empowers them. It really does.
Do you have any other work like that planned in the future? What's next for you in that? Writing?
There is a book that I'm thinking about, and it
Mm-hmm.
might be more of like a collaboration of stories. I can't say anything more about it yet, but it'll be a very fun book that I think will really enlighten and amuse a lot of interior designers, but it could also be fun for the public to read.
Oh, that sounds.
So,
I can imagine some stories. They'd be fun.
yes.
I'll leave it at that. The I think the you've had a successful career, and there's a lot of young designers who admire you and would look up to someone like you, especially some of the ASID students that have come along. Is there any bit of advice that you could share with somebody who is starting out in this career?
Well, it's funny you should say that because ASID just launched a mentor program, and designers signed up, and then you were matched with mentees. And I have two, and I have them together instead of just single because I feel that, you know, students can become the teacher as well. And they're both graduates, and they're both second careerists, which is interesting.
Oh, fascinating.
And so we have this really beautiful relationship. We meet every other week. And I think that the biggest thing that I've told them is you really have to make sure that you have your processes lined up and buttoned up, and that you know exactly how you're going to run your projects. And the other thing that I thought was really, really important if they're going out on their own, I think they need to work for someone first. Never just leave school and hang your shingle. Our world is too complex now for you to do that successfully. And I'd rather see people fly than sink.
That's great advice.
So take time to work for people, learn the trade from the professional aspect, not just your educational aspect. You might do a side hustle for a family member or friend, or something like that on the side. You could have like a little project, but don't think that you know everything, because I can tell you that after 33 years I still don't know everything, and the narrative changes.
Yeah,
So
that's fantastic, Phyllis. I have admired your career, your work, your personality, the fact that you're always such a pleasant person to work with.
thank you, and you as well. It's always been a pleasure to work with the group.
Yeah, thank you. Well, equally, we try to present a professional, front-facing business career, but we also are people who like what they do. So to me, it never feels like work. I can't say that everybody in my organization feels as enthusiastic as I do. I'm sure you have a few of those things.
I certainly understand.
But really, it's been fantastic to spend a few minutes with you here. And,
Same.
we look forward to showing you some of our wares as we go through. But this was really an informative and entertaining and insightful few minutes with Phyllis Harbinger. And we're thrilled to be part of your career and hope that we can continue to work.
And thank you, because we're only as good as the people that support us. So it takes a village.
Sure
It truly does.
Yeah, love it. Thanks.